For many, being homeless is a year-round 24/7 proposition. But public awareness is heightened each year when the weather starts to turn. It's no fun sleeping outside when it's cold, and for some, it can be deadly. But there seems to be more places now where the homeless can get a warm night, maybe even a warm meal during the winter. A coalition of faith groups has now officially entertained the first overnight homeless guests at a new facility along Cerrillos Road. The Interfaith Community Shelter group leased it from the people who formerly ran Pete's Pets at that location. KSFR's Ellen Dupuy dropped by on opening night and talked to a few homeless waiting for the doors to unlock at 6 p.m.
Hi, hola. How did you hear about this place?
Over at the other church.
I see a good dinner.
Is that it?
Yes. So tonight's opening night.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess you could stay here as long as you want.
Hopefully, maybe 5 months. I think so. I will hopefully be.
Thanks to y'all, and bless you all for helping us.
How did you hear about this place?
Through the other one on House.
What would you do if you didn't have a place? Where would you sleep if this place wasn't available?
I'd be sleeping outside, I'm sure. So I'm trying not to get in trouble, I guess.
Last night I slept in the Greyhound bus depot in Albuquerque, and probably here I would have been in Denny's drinking coffee all night because I don't have no bed stuff, no blankets or nothing. So to keep from freezing to death, I'd have been drinking coffee all night. So this is a big help for me.
Where are you from?
I'm from all over. I've just drifted the past 6 years, and I'm trying to get a job and get off the streets now, so I'm going to Taos tomorrow. I wanted to stay here, but the city looks too dangerous for me. Too many stabbings here, too.
Well, thank you very much.
Susan Odysseus. I'm the team leader tonight. I'm a member of the board and vice chairman of the Interfaith Community Shelter Group.
How do they hear about you?
Word of mouth. The word on the street gets spread very quickly. Plus, the city of Santa Fe helped with flyers in the buses, and we've put notices up in the libraries, and we run into people and we hand them a flyer or tell them, and they'll say, "Hey, when are you opening?" And sure enough, we connect that way as well.
Do you find the need greater this year? Is there a different kind of person?
Well, there are three groups of people who are homeless. The chronic homeless who have trouble keeping jobs and so forth. They may have skill issues, etc. The second group is the working poor. The working poor who are not unwilling to work, and they just don't have enough money, or they have financial obligations that prevent them from, acquiring housing or keeping housing. And then the third group, which relates to your point, this is what we call the economic homeless. And we're seeing a growing number of people who've never been homeless before. They lost their jobs, hung on to their housing for a while, and then they found themselves either living in their vehicles or on the street. We do think that number is going to grow this year based on indications from some of the agencies that we collaborate with, like Faith at Work, etc. They are seeing growing numbers, and so as the weather gets colder, we expect that there will be more people in all three categories.
The ratio between men, women, and children?
There are more men, but we certainly welcome women, and we do have separate accommodations for them. They're in the area that's in the middle of the space here. And then we have an area that we call the isolation area. That will be for people who have flu-like symptoms and so forth. It alternatively could be for people who are inebriated after 9 o'clock, people who are drinking as long as they're willing to follow the rules, get something warm to eat, and go to bed and don't cause any difficulties, follow the rules. They're welcome to stay. This week, our host church is Holy Trinity Orthodox Church, and Ralph Nava has organized the food tonight. So let's go back in the kitchen area. It's not a real kitchen, that's with a small K, to see what we're having tonight.
You'll just help dish the plates, and then
Father John,
dish it up. Glad to.
Could you tell me what's for dinner tonight?
It's a meat stew, salad, bread, and some lemonade and coffee and so forth, and some desserts.
And how many are you expecting for dinner tonight?
I think maybe 40.
we have no idea.
It's
our first night here. There have this week been 30 men at Holy Faith, and I think night before last there were 7 women at First Presbyterian. So that's the range for the beginning, but this is just the start.
My name is Kenneth Seaman. I'm the rector of Holy Faith Episcopal Church.
Who are the homeless?
The homeless are people like you and like me. There are some people who have various problems. There are people who have been very down on their luck. There are people who have been divorced. Many of these people work. They just don't make enough money to come up with their first and last month's rent. And so I leave this place any night that I'm here and think, there is no difference between most of the people here and me, except that they have nothing, and compared to them, I have everything. It's quite an extraordinary experience, I must tell you. And last year we had over 500 volunteers, and all of them left the same way. They are very committed to this, because the people who are homeless it could be you tomorrow. That's just how it is.